Your event is starting. All right. Here we go, boys. You ready?
Wait, is the camera here? The one that records us too?
Yes. Awesome. Yep. All right. All right. Here we go, guys. In 1, 2, 3. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday night. Here we go. You know who you're listening to. It's the CineManiacs back for their second straight season. Already messing up on the first show. Second straight season here on the Galaxy Radio. We are more than happy to be back here. As you can see, we're all back. Happy to be back here in the studio. We can't wait to show you guys all the awesome changes we have for this year. And of course, we can't wait to show you the movies that we're reviewing tonight. And of course, for the rest of the year. But we have on the show tonight. You know we can't do this without them. Here we go.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Levi.
I'm Irvin. Steven will be joining us shortly. He'll be here in a little bit.
Steven has class until
9:30. He's
so
just getting out now.
He's going to be a little late for
Just a little
the first
late.
couple of shows.
Steven's a good student. He's in class right now.
Yeah, he's in class, yeah.
But all right. So, gentlemen, open up your scripts, and here we go. Starting the show off right. Got our official new CineManiacs scripts right here. All right, so I want to ask all of you out there. So one cool thing about us that we're doing right now, we're live streaming on YouTube. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I want to ask you guys first, how was your summer? And how was your summer?
My summer was good.
It was good?
I made some money for college by working for my school. We had the summer food program, which is basically we make lunches for people around our neighborhood and other neighborhoods nearby. And then most of it was just relaxing, losing some weight, working out.
That's good. Hey, that's all good.
Finally decided to do something about my weight problem. No, that's about it. My summer was pretty alright.
I worked. That was pretty much
That's
my
it.
whole
that
summer.
was it.
I had a 1-month vacation between when school let out and when I went back to work, just because it was just so busy for me between like going back to work and after school let out that it wasn't worth going back to work the amount of days I have to be taking off because of other important stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I just worked the entire summer. Yep.
Oh my God.
That smile says it all, folks. I love that
You're
Levi.
so
I
enthusiastic.
am, man. I love the deli, man. I love the deli.
Well, I'm glad you love the deli,
They
Levi.
get free samples.
There you go.
I do.
All right. Well, for my summer vacation, I also too worked. I was here doing tours here in the Welcome Center at Webster. That was pretty fun. I got a lot of new people. But yeah, and also I was just planning for our show this semester, and that was a lot of fun. Another thing that I did that I'm really proud that I was able to do, and I got to do it, was I was a orientation leader for new student orientation the weekend. So that was a lot of fun. Just seeing all the new freshmen and like how it made me think so much of our first time when we first arrived here, and like all the new faces and all that stuff, and how they're all nervous, but we all got in the right place, which is really cool.
Yep.
But also I'm a connection leader too, so I have mentees now, and they're out there doing their own thing.
I bet it was fun carrying all that stuff up the stairs.
I got some muscle, so that's for sure. I can still feel it to this day, but it was good. It was all good. But yeah, it was a pretty good summer, and hopefully Steven will tell us about his summer when he gets here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a bit about us. So let's talk about the new changes that we have for the show this year. So some of the changes that we have listed on here are the ones we're going to tell you right now. Some of them you'll see gradually as the year progresses on. So let's start with the biggest change on the show, which is live streaming on YouTube. So if you go to our Facebook page right now and you're like, hey, where's live stream on here? It's not usually on here. That's because we moved over to YouTube. So if you go on our Facebook page right now, the CineManiacs, you're going to see a link instead of where the live stream would be, and that's going to take us over to YouTube, and you can go and watch us on there. So basically, because we know everyone doesn't have a Facebook, we just want to make sure everyone can be able to watch us and all that stuff. YouTube, of course, is the universal place to watch all kinds of videos.
On YouTube.
Literally, everyone's on YouTube. So if you're interested in us watching us live streaming, go on Facebook and check out the link to there. If you're already on YouTube and you want to check us out, we are the CineManiacs, kind of the same, pretty much the exact same way it is on our Facebook page. But also I put in tags for if you put in like lowercase and all that stuff, so you can find us easily too. But yeah, the second change that we have on our show. So last year we had 2 social media platforms, just 2. We had Facebook and Snapchat to get connected with our audiences. But this year we have 4 new ways, social media platforms to get connected with you guys. We have, of course, the Facebook page. Gotta start from the OG source. We still have our Snapchat as well. But now
I will be better at. I'm going to be better at the Snapchat, I promise.
we have the Snapchat back, and then finally we also have 2 new ones, which are Twitter and Instagram. We'll all be posting and tweeting about all that stuff on there too. We'll all have access to these accounts as well, so sometimes we'll have like Levi post or Brandon post or Steven or me, so we can all kind of post our own. Sometimes have like a spotlight of the week, which CineManiacs is doing that week and all that stuff. So look out for those. We'll be posting those soon on our Facebook page. But also, one thing I'm very proud to announce, another cool change is that we have a brand new website, which I'll just say a website in general because we didn't have that at all.
Yeah. What's so new about it? Well, we have one.
Yeah, we have one now.
Yeah.
So you're probably wondering, what is the name of it? So if you look in the bottom of the YouTube live stream in the comment in the description below, you'll see there's a little link that takes you right to the website. It's still in the early stages of development, so you're going to see a lot of stuff that seems unfinished. That's because we're just taking care of that all this week. When I showed it to them, we were really pumped and all that stuff. So we're getting all that taken care of right now, so be on the lookout for that. But go and visit, take a look at it. A lot of cool stuff on there. You can go and read more about us, what we all like, and see what our favorite movies are and all that stuff. So check out our website. It's pretty cool. And then some other changes will be coming soon, gradually, like I said. We're really looking forward to see those other changes as well. So stick around for those on our platforms on Facebook and YouTube. And and there'll be one other change I'll be revealing at the end of the night too. So yeah. But before we move on to the thing that we're known for, the movie reviews, let's talk briefly about what summer 2017 has been like for movies. Obviously, a huge year for blockbuster hits and a lot of awesome movies coming out. So I want to ask you guys what you guys thought of this year and how it's going to set pave the way for the future of movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this year hit hard. I feel like meaning like there were a lot of good ones.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Like no, not like it was a flop. No.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure.
Like,
yeah.
there were a lot of good movies.
For me,
especially the ones that we're gonna be reviewing tonight.
For me, this was like one of the best summers.
That's what
for movies in 2 or 3 years. Like the last time we had like a good summer. For me, it was like 2013 was the last time I enjoyed a good summer. Like 2014, 15, 16.
Because there are movies that we're going to be reviewing that I haven't even seen, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to see that.
Yeah. See, like the past 3 years was like 2015 was probably the closest, like Jurassic World and Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse and whatnot. Oh no, wait, that was last year.
2015 was Age of Ultron.
You right. Yep. But yeah, like this year was probably one of the better summers. Yeah.
Yep.
This year was probably one of the better summers for movies since I can remember. Like 2013 was the last one I enjoyed. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree totally with you guys. It's really been an awesome year for movies. I mean, there's so many. We have classic movies that are kind of being revived, like Alien Covenant coming out. Then we have some other movies, like superhero movies, like Spider-Man: Homecoming, that are kind of making their way to the next generation again. So that's really cool.
They did not pull any punches.
Yeah.
This year.
This summer was it was a bunch of sequels.
They were like,
really
let's see what else we can throw in. Let's throw in Transformers.
Yeah, it seemed like this summer was a lot of sequels, and then there were like 75% of it was sequels, and then 25% of it was like original.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I think it's good to have sequels as long as you can make them work. Because for me, whenever there's a sequel coming out for a movie, I always say, okay, there's a sequel coming out, but it's not going to be like the original movie. Some movies get away with it, some franchises do. Like Back to the Future, all those sequels are pretty awesome. Every single one, kind of makes up for the
pretty good,
last one. But then there's some, like the Spider-Man series with Tobey Maguire. Some of those movies don't live up to the hype, and they don't.
3 times. It's been rebooted twice.
Please stop. I've had enough. I like Spider-Man, but I've had enough Spider-Man movies.
I like as soon as I mentioned.
We'll get to that when we review Spider-Man.
I just want to point out, as soon as I mentioned Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Brandon's face goes, like he just shrugs down.
That wasn't. all because of Tobey Maguire. That was just the thought of them rebooting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Twice now. Twice. in the span of how many? It's been 15 years. 2002
Even
to
with
2017.
Batman, whenever they changed the actors, they didn't reboot the whole franchise.
Yeah, it was just like they just showed
They just
his
continued
parents
with
dead.
new.
They
Guys.
continued to show his parents dead and whatnot.
It's like,
that was
okay,
it.
we get it, his
That
parents
was
are
it,
dead.
yeah.
But then with Spider-Man, it's like, okay, we get it. He was bit by a spider. His uncle died.
Yeah.
They gotta show the whole thing over.
Gotta
it.
show it all over.
That's okay. We'll
Next
talk
week.
about
Next
that.
week.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I was
I was about to go on a tangent.
Tangent?
Yeah.
Next week.
Not a tangent, but like a. I was gonna go on a spill, but we're not reviewing that this week.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah. So, before we step to the first review, obviously we're gonna keep waiting a little for Steven, but I also just want to talk about so our live stream on YouTube. One cool thing about it I really love is that you guys you can add comments to it. That's what I mean. Obviously, you can add comments on YouTube videos, but you can actually chat with us live stream too. So if you ever if one of us said something that's interesting, you want to tell us what you think about that, you can write to us, and then I'll try to read it on there and see what you guys are saying. So that's really a cool way just to, if you want to see us live, I really recommend you guys do that out there. So pretty cool. Also, I'm noticing the live stream is working. I think it's having a little bit of buffer issue, so we're working on that. We're fixing that out. But for the most part, it is working on YouTube, so we are on live YouTube. Just a couple of frame rates are dropping, so pretty good. All right, so we're gonna slowly start to ease into the first movie. We're gonna not go too far, just because I want to make sure Steven arrives. But when he does,
We're just gonna have to go without him.
exactly. But
Yeah, I'll send him a message.
this is what we're
Just
actually doing live.
We gotta get started.
Yeah,
We do.
but yeah.
So I'll go ahead and open the door for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the movie that we talked about that we would review the last episode of this past semester that we said we would review. And that weekend we actually went and saw it. And so we said when we come back here, that's the first movie we got. Leave right off of.
First movie we gotta review. We gotta start off with what we left off.
So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, of course, the sequel to the great Guardians of the Galaxy.
The movie that everyone thought was going to be bad, but it was actually one of the most successful Marvel movies.
There you go. So we'll do the same thing we always do. We're gonna do a bit of a preview. Obviously, right. That's my daily mumbles right there.
I was going to say I have no idea what you just said.
It's okay. Making fun of me already, huh? I'm just kidding. You're good. We're gonna start with the preview. Obviously, no spoilers because it just came out this year.
It's out on TV already. I think
I
that's
think I heard it.
Oh,
Is it Steven?
is it Steven?
It's Steven.
Possible dramatic effect. Possible dramatic effect.
It's
Yay,
Steven!
Steven!
Yay!
We're just about to start reviewing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steven, you guys can
Yeah.
tell us who you are. Even though we just say your name 5 times.
I'm Steven.
Yeah!
There it is.
Woo!
Alright.
Alright, Steven, so we're kind of ahead a little bit right now, but just briefly tell us what your summer has been like as you're getting comfortable.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you walked right through the door. We're getting you.
Keep it
Yeah.
brief,
Keep it
because we
brief,
gotta get
yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, my summer was pretty good. I worked most of the time.
Hey, let's do it.
I
Same.
saw films like y'all did with Lollapalooza. That's pretty much it. So there
You
you
and me had a similar summer.
go. Yeah.
Working movies.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. I'm telling you.
Alright,
But yeah, so Steven, right now we're on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's the first.
so we just got started.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you want to go ahead and give us a little rundown of the summary a little bit?
I can't really say too much about the synopsis of it without giving my spoilers.
Why not?
Can you try your best?
I mean, it's out on Blu-ray.
True, but
I know it hasn't been a year yet, but I mean, you can give some information.
not all of it. Just some. Just be
basically,
careful.
this whole Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, basically you find out who Peter Quill's dad is, and stuff happens. That's it. That's all I can say. You find out who Peter Quill's dad is, and stuff happens.
Cool. That's a pretty good summary right there. Probably the shortest summary we ever had on the show.
Well, I mean, that's what the whole movie's about,
Yeah.
and you can't say anything that happens without giving away spoilers.
Yeah, there are major. It does a lot of. There's a lot of lines that it connects, and a lot of lines that it breaks off. So we're just trying to be really careful about it. But who wants to open a topic up for just kind of the way the story flowed in this one rather than it did in the first Guardians of the Galaxy? What's up?
I was
He wants to
I was
go.
gonna go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
He wants to go.
Go ahead, man.
Everyone that's listening to this and not watching the live stream is like, why'd they fall?
It's buffering. It's buffering.
So, with the story of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I personally really liked the story. I know there are some people that didn't. I liked it. Looking at you.
It was. I'll get to me.
It was.
It started,
was
ladies and gentlemen. It started.
It was not as like. It was not like the first one where there was something and they had to do something in order to do something, and then this happened. Blah blah blah. It's a really close. It's a really close story. Like, it takes place over like what, 2-3 days?
For the most part, yeah. Maybe
It's just like 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
It's
Like
just
Romeo
like
and
2 days.
Juliet.
And it's,
2 days, yeah.
it's a really close story, and that's what I really liked about this one. It was a really personal story. We learned more about the characters. I know one of Levi's complaints was that it was all character development. It didn't go anywhere, but that's what I liked about it. It was character development. In the first one, we knew nothing about the only person we knew anything about was Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord.
We knew about Gamora.
Oh wow, we knew Gamora and Nebula were sisters. They fought all the time because Thanos likes Gamora more. We knew that Drax's family was dead.
Yeah.
We knew Groot was a tree.
So see, we got
We knew
backstory.
Rocket
We got backstory.
Was an experiment.
We
that's,
got backstory.
That's all we knew, but we learned more about these characters than we did in the first one.
All right, yeah, you're right. That's what happened. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I really liked about this one. All right, do you want me to just give like my full like?
Honestly, I
review,
think.
or
I
do
mean,
you want me to go?
I think I like that. We'll come back around. Let's just have like us, like Levi and Steven go a little bit too, and then we'll come back around a little bit to discuss the final thought. But I like what you said. That was
No, I mean, like, do you want me to like just finish up and then we can move on to
Sure,
Levi,
sounds good,
and then
yeah,
we can
okay.
move on to Steven,
Yeah.
and then we can do what we normally do?
yeah.
Okay, because I got something I want to talk about with this movie.
Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The color grading.
Yeah.
It was this movie. If you look at Marvel movies before Doctor Strange, all of them are bland.
Yes, they are.
Once you get past the first Avengers, it's bland as can be.
Mm-hmm.
It is just gray. There's no vibrant colors, and it's just bland. Like, yeah, the airport battle in Civil War is really cool. Too bad it's all gray.
Right.
It looks like a Clint Eastwood film.
But this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, was colorful, and I loved it. And whenever we bought it, when I bought it on 4K, and I watched it, it was so beautiful. It's just a beautiful movie. And I really like the cinematography.
That's one thing I was going to say
Guardians of the
next too. Yeah.
The way, like, all of the shots are just beautiful. It's just beautiful. That's all I can say. Marvel, once they hit I feel like Civil War came out and they're like, okay guys, we really gotta fix this. Like, we gotta start adding some color.
Exactly.
Because people are getting bored of seeing this. And, like, ever since then, like, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, all of them are really beautiful. They have really great colors. They have great cinematography. I really like them. And I'm hoping to God that they stick with that for Infinity War. Because if we go back to how Civil War looked, despite how good of a movie that was, I'm gonna be mad because that movie does not need to be bland.
It's the Russo brothers. They did
I
both
know,
Winter
and I
Soldier
swear
and
to
Civil War.
God, if it's just gray again, I'm gonna be so mad. But no,
All right.
I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Was it an amazing story? Was it an amazing movie? No. Was it a terrible movie? No. Did this movie have more humor than the first one? Yeah. Did that kind of get on my nerves? A little bit, but it wasn't Ant-Man.
The whole movie was a joke.
The whole movie of Ant-Man was
wow.
a joke. This one more thing and then I'm done.
Okay.
The villain of this one was more appealing to me than most of the Marvel movies.
I agree.
Every Marvel villain, you're just like, okay, and then they're dead. It's like, Every Marvel villain, they're like surprising you. It's like, guess what? He's a villain, and then it's like, that's cool. I can't wait to see him in the next Iron Man. Oh wait, no, he's dead. Oh man, Red Skull. Can't wait to see him in the next Captain America. Oh wait, no, he's dead. We got Loki.
Yeah.
We got Ban Zemo.
We got Zemo, but I mean he's not dead.
Yeah.
But what's he gonna do? Is he gonna make them fight each other again? No, I really like the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy too. Really good villain. I really liked the story because of how personal it was, and just beautiful cinematography and colors.
Levi, what about you? Like a friend?
All right, he's been wanting to bash this movie since we walked out of the theater.
Since May. Let's
Well,
go.
I'm open for. I want to see what you really have to say.
I've waited 4
you go
months
ahead.
for this.
Now you're gonna hear it
Alright.
live.
I've waited 4 months. Here we go. So, I like the movie. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. I thought it is not as good as the first one. It is not. Like Brendan said, like it is all character development, and there's little plot. And I know I've said this before. It reminds me almost like the new Fantastic Four movie, the way it was structured. With
No.
like, hold on, let me hold on. With the way like the fighting scene, I can't give that away, but like the fighting scene was kind of reminding me of like at the end of Fantastic Four with it, like the way it was set up, like how there was only like just that one, and so it there was too much humor, way too much humor. Like every second it got boring. It did. Like it was like it's too much. You need to stop. It's not funny anymore. It's funny when it happens in spurts, but when it's not funny when it happens like da 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 da. So I didn't care for the overhumor. They made well, I won't say it because I can't say it, but there is.
Yeah, he could wait. Could you wait for 8 more minutes?
You can say it.
I can say it.
You can't say the vulgar term.
Exactly.
You can say the anatomical.
You can say the anatomical term. Audience be warned, but
There's just an inappropriate joke. Like it's not inappropriate. It's very like it's just right out there, and it was something I wasn't expecting for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what am I watching?
I will say
This-
I agree with you on that,
This
and I
isn't a
do
Mar-
agree with that. I
Yeah.
like how they did the humor in the first one more.
Yeah, like it's not. What is this? And plus, like with Drax's character 100% changed. Like he was serious in the
Yeah.
first Guardians of the Galaxy, and then this one, it's like, oh, I'm the funny guy of this whole thing for now on. And it's like each of them, like none of them were like the funny guy in the first one. They each had their moments of humor.
Right.
But Drax became the funny guy.
Yeah, Drax became after we learned everything about him. It's like let's completely forget about my wife and my child being dead and everything. It's like, well,
They brought that up.
I know they
He
brought
had
it up.
good moments.
I know, like with what's her name?
Mantis.
Yeah, with Mantis, but still, it's too much humor. I thought it was way too much humor. I know, like it was all character development, and there was a plot, but it wasn't structured as bigly, and it wasn't as huge as what the character development was focused on. It was still entertaining, and I liked it. It's good. It's just it is not as good as the first one, in my opinion. So I think that's it as far as me. I'm sure something will come up as we continue going on.
All right, Steven.
Steven, tell us, good sir.
Well, first off, I really did like this movie. Yes, some of the humor could have been taken out, and some of the humor could have stayed. Well, it did, but you get the point. It could have been better if it had less funny moments and focused more on the plot that it did have. Which in parts it did. Like when they weren't joking around, they got into the plot and they took it very, very seriously. It's just they made too many jokes and therefore they didn't take. They could have done a lot more with the plot than what they already did.
Well, I mean, I feel like. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No,
None of you guys interrupted mine, but I keep interrupting yours.
No, go for
I
it.
feel like there is a point in the movie.
Mm.
I'm not going to say what it is, but there is a point where the jokes kind of drop.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. And when that point does
Once that point
happen,
drops, there are still jokes,
but they're not.
they're not overshadowing what's going on.
Yeah, because once that happens, like the movie just like takes this more serious tone,
Yeah.
and it stays. Like,
Yeah.
It just sticks.
That's what I'm saying, and like that, I think that's why the humor doesn't bother me as much as it does Levi. I mean, yeah, I do agree with you, Levi. In the beginning, before that point, it does seem like a bit much. I mean, I noticed it, but I guess I didn't really mind it except for the joke you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I was invested in the characters and the plot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Ant-Man where I didn't care about any of the characters, and it was just the movie didn't even take itself seriously.
Yeah, no.
But there's a point where they drop the humor almost, and it just takes its toll.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a very like true point. But and then I feel like I can talk more about more. We can say more, but we are very much we're avoiding spoilers.
Yeah.
True.
But I mean, like this is a family film. Like quite literally,
Yeah.
it's a film about.
There were
family.
like kids that were like all like 4 or 5, like 10.
No, I think Steven was saying it.
The
It's like
movie
a
itself.
character.
Oh, okay, I
It's
see what you're saying.
It's
Okay.
it's a
It's like
family.
Fast and Furious.
That's like a family
No.
kind of.
It's about
Don't
family.
compare
Not that
It's all about, it's all about family. in Fast
Oh
and
man.
Furious.
But-
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's
I
a
get-
family kind of
I get
environment.
the point.
Setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about family, whether it's between like the Guardians or Peter and his dad.
Yeah.
It's a family film, all like throughout the entire movie,
Mhm.
and that's probably like the big thing that got me like a lot more invested in the movie
Exactly.
is the plot and like how it is like just them being a family, which I'm surprised you don't like Levi because that's what the Fast and Furious movies are all about, being a family.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, on the first episode
Yeah.
already.
Already firing Levi up.
Wow.
But
At least wait till the ratings, Steve.
Wow.
You gotta-
Yeah, at least wait till the rating.
I mean, I very much enjoyed this movie. The colors were very much amazing. Like Brendan said, like once Doctor Strange was done and it had like Doctor Strange had his good cinematography and good colors. I think they knew what to do after that movie. They knew what to do, and then just like make them all colorful. Like even Thor, which when the trailer first came out, people gave it a lot of flack because it's trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
But then it's like.
But now when more trailer came out, everyone's like, I want to go see this movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I would have seen it no matter what they did with it.
Yeah.
I would have seen the movie regardless. But thanks to Guardians, I very much enjoy Guardians. It's a great movie that I've seen twice. Could have seen it 3 times. I wasn't around when you guys watched it in 4K.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, I saw it with you guys. I saw it with my mom, and then those like the only times I've seen it. But very good movie. Urban.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you guys were saying. It really, for me at least, I thought, in my opinion, it's way better than the first one, just because the storyline, the way it progressed, it caught my attention much more, like right from the start. Whereas the first one, I had to kind of like ease myself in, which was really, kind of okay. But this movie, I love the way the whole story, the way it progressed, and the character development was by far my favorite thing because I got to know more about the characters. It shows you don't have to know more about the comic books or anything like that to know more about these characters, whereas they
Yeah,
just
because they
present them.
completely changed who Peter Quill's dad is.
Yeah.
Like, James Gunn read the comics, he's like, I don't want him to be the dad.
Right.
I want this guy to be the dad.
Exactly. But overall, I loved this film. Was really awesome. Had those like touching moments, I think, especially with Baby Groot in it a lot too. But I just love the way that it was the movie that I wanted it to look like. It was the movie that I wanted it to be, and it was more and beyond for me, and I loved every moment of it, I think. So, and as far as the cinematography was mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in IMAX and on that 4K TV, like it was both incredible, and I would always watch it again, definitely. So
You didn't want to watch it when we watched it in 4K. You went to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
tired, man. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the ratings. Who shall go first?
Let's just do it like we normally do it.
All right.
Line.
First ratings of the year. Here we go.
So, I do really love this movie, but I also can't ignore rating. I'm gonna give this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, a 7.5.
I give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2
Oh, here we go.
a 7.1.
Oh,
Wow, your first
7.1.
rating isn't a 7.
It is a 7.
it's in the 7
I
range.
know, but it's not a perfect 7.
No, I know. Last year, our first movie was Sully, and that was a 7.5.
All right. Steven, what about you?
It dropped.
I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll give it a 7.8.
Oh, higher than both of us.
I give it an 8.
Okay.
Is it gonna be a perfect 10?
I've changed my ways.
No, Thor Ragnarok's gotta be a perfect 10. It comes out in November, just like Doctor Strange did.
Levi, watch yourself. I'm on her.
Oh.
All right, so that was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, RC. We all enjoyed it. Well,
Yep.
most of us did. So check the movie out. It's on DVD now and on Blu-ray. If you can watch it,
recommend it.
4K Blu-ray.
if you can watch in 4K Blu-ray. So,
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our second movie of the night. I didn't even say it, and he's already
It's
moaning.
just utter
It's
disappointment.
just, yeah.
So Transformers: The Last Night. I have not seen this movie personally. I've not been like a huge fan of the Transformers films.
Alright.
I'm really nervous. Okay, all of you are like making noises, especially him. He's
the one that's seen it. That's why.
I
I've
wanna-
seen it too.
You know what? Just
Well,
go ahead and
both.
start.
Yeah.
I was gonna like make a nice little introduction, but I don't think I can anymore.
It's Transformers, Michael Bay. Like, no, I mean, the introduction.
This movie just I couldn't take it seriously, and it angered me. It really angered.
Oh, I know
Like-
Assassin's Creed will be here.
Oh no! It wasn't as bad as Assassin's Creed, but it was close. It was really close.
that's saying something right there.
Okay, so in this movie, apparently Cybertron isn't dead. Cybertron's not blown up.
Yeah.
Because Optimus Prime's like, I am Optimus Prime. I'm gonna go find Cybertron and I'm gonna see what happened. And then it's like, he does, and then he's gone for like 45 minutes. And you forget that Optimus Prime is even in the movie because we're focusing on Mark Wahlberg and this little girl. And it's like, okay, so now we're focusing on Mark Wahlberg. Now we're focusing on Anthony Hopkins. And I forgot that Optimus Prime was even in this movie until he came back to Earth and he's like, I'm evil and I gotta destroy all the Transformers. And it's like, wait, what?
I would like to coin a term for actors or people that are off screen they're on screen for a period of time, then off screen for most of it.
God,
I'm gonna call it pulling up Mahershala Ali.
Oh,
Too late. I'm doing it. All right. Anyway, I'll just find Mahershala Ali.
So I watched this movie with my best friend back home, Matthew. And there was a point where I was gonna go fill up my popcorn. It was literally 45 minutes in the movie. I went to go fill up my popcorn, and I also had to go to the bathroom. And me and him stood in the lobby of the movie theater and talked to the people who own our movie theater back home. And we look at our watches and we're like, oh, we missed like 15 minutes. And we looked at each other and we're like, I guess we gotta go back in there. And we walked back in and we were like, oh, apparently we missed something important because there's a fight going on. It's like, okay. But literally the only thing I liked about this movie was Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins was the best part of this movie because you get to hear Anthony Hopkins curse. And it was funny.
Wow.
I mean,
Is
that's
this what
fair.
we're coming to now? Looking for people to curse in movies.
I'll say some of the fights were pretty cool. The fight that they kept hammering over our head in the trailers with Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, that was pretty cool. Lasted about 5 minutes, but it was pretty cool. Expected more from it, but it was pretty cool. However, the whole, I don't even know how long this movie is. It was like
2 hours and 30 minutes.
yeah, the last 45 minutes just angered me. The movie ended, and me and Matthew looked at each other and started laughing, and I went, are you kidding me? That's how it's going to end? This was before we even saw the post-credits scene where it's basically saying, oh, you know how Michael Bay said this was the last one? It's not gonna be the last one. They're gonna make another one.
I was just about to ask that too. Like,
No, they're probably gonna make another one.
I know there's a Bumblebee spinoff coming. That's the next one.
See,
And John Cena's in it.
Stephen, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I heard about the spinoff, and I heard I had hope, and then you said John Cena's in it, and my hope just died.
You can't see me, Bumblebee.
The cringe is real.
I swear, the last 45 minutes of this movie just angered me, and I honestly left the movie theater mad because of how they ended the movie. I'm not going to say how they ended it, but you know how it ended. I told you.
Me, and I was angry because I was just so confused.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because of the fact that, I don't know, I was in Transformers when I was a kid, so I do know, some of the stuff that's supposed that actually happened.
Here's what I'm saying happened. The screenwriter was talking to Michael Bay, and he's like, all right, so I have this going on, and this is going to happen, and yeah, that's going to happen. And Michael Bay's like, oh, great. How's it going to end? And the screenwriter's like, I didn't think about that. Let's just end it like this. And Michael Bay's like, screw it. All right.
Oh my god.
And they just did it.
It'll still make money.
It made me so mad. It made me so mad. And there's a scene where they introduce the Decepticons. It's like, oh, this is Megatron. It felt like I was watching Suicide Squad.
Oh no.
They showed Barricade, the police car Decepticon.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's alive now. They don't explain how.
Okay.
But yeah, he it's like, this is the army men are like, this is Barricade, and it shows Barricade, and he goes, boom, and it's like, he's got these, brass knuckles that say, serve and destroy, and something, and it gives, a bio of Barricade, and I started laughing, and I looked at Matthew, and I was like, it's the Suicide Squad.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I could not take this movie seriously, and it just, like I said, it just...
I just have a question. In terms of, the other Transformers film, would you say this one, really just,
This is my least favorite.
That's least favorite?
No. Age of Extinction is my least
Okay.
favorite one. This one is a close second.
Oh, wow. That was just my question, because I was just
my Transformers movies go Age of Extinction, Last Night, Dark of the Moon, and then...
The first one?
Oh, wait, no.
You forgot about Revenge
Yeah.
of the Fallen.
Revenge of the Fallen comes before Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon's not that bad.
Yeah,
And then the first one's obviously the best. I'm done with this movie.
See, there you go. That's another... There you go, right there. This is an example of how sometimes sequels cannot
They
live
need to
up
stop!
Yeah, there you go.
Levi, take it over, please.
Alright. So Transformers The Last Night, it was entertaining and nothing else. I mean,
It wasn't even entertaining.
It was entertaining and nothing else. It's fighting alien robots. I mean, we've seen it before in four previous movies. Yeah, I've seen it in 4 previous movies. Plotline is just different. That's all. I thought it was kind of interesting how they tried to bring in Knights of the Round Table, like Sir Lancelot.
Yeah, the opening was pretty cool, but that's it.
Oh, wow.
So I thought it was an interesting concept doing that. There were a couple moments in the movie where I was like, okay, there's a scene with Mark Wahlberg where he does something towards the end of the movie. I'm just like, okay. My brother brought it up and was like, no. And so
No.
You gotta bring it up with me because
So-
I don't know what you're talking
okay.
about.
And so he was like, no. And I thought about it and I was like, you're right. I was like, no, that's not. This is a Transformers movie. No. And so there was that. I did not like towards the ending where they get in, where they're inside and there's the creator and it's like, what is this?
It was so
this?
bad.
This is not true. What is this? And then
What do you guys talk about it? More, I don't want to watch it.
it's
at
false
all.
advertising. I won't say why it's false advertising. You can use the context clues to figure it out. But it was false advertising for one character in particular of what they advertised. So I won't say no more. That's it. You can figure it out from there. I just thought it was better than Age of Extinction, but not as good as the first 3. Still, it was just I feel like it was going in a direction where it's let's just bringing different things from the past and tie them into it. Dinosaurs, Verge of Extinction. Knights of the Round Table for I know. For last night, it says let's bring in different elements into space robots, alien robots fighting and whatnot. So it's a Michael Bay film. So what can you expect? I mean, explosions everywhere, folks. Explosions everywhere. So yeah.
All right, and I believe you two are the ones that saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I
I'm
did.
just disappointed.
Well, I was gonna say you guys want to go jump into the ratings for this
Let's
movie.
do it. Let's do it.
You know, I have a rating written down.
Yeah.
It's not the rating I'm going to give it.
All right.
I'm going to give it lower.
All right.
Ooh. Dun dun dun.
I give Transformers The Last Night 4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Just barely. over
Barely.
Assassin's Creed.
All right.
If you remember, I gave that
3. 3 out of 10.
Yeah,
All right.
This one gets a 4.
All right, Levi. What about you?
I give Transformers The Last Night a solid 6.0 out of 10.
No!
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do.
No!
I
No!
You
A
can't
solid 6.0. 6.0.
I need to know why.
I told you it was entertaining.
The
Nothing
first
else.
episode
Of course,
and all
it
the
has
mics.
its flaws. It has its major flaws, but
It's entertaining. Like, entertaining, and only entertaining should be no higher than a 5.
it
I agree
gets,
with that
just
statement.
pure
I can agree with that.
it gets a 6.0 for me. Solid 6.
I like how.
And you gave Guardians of the Galaxy only a point one above that.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I wouldn't pick Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 any day over not Age of Extinction. Both of them. Age of Extinction and
Look
The
at
Last
these.
Night. But,
Let's move on.
All right.
hey, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say.
I need a new
I was gonna
movie.
say. I like how it's already the first episode. And already, all the needles are in the red.
Everybody's getting mad already.
All the needles are in the
So
red.
we gotta turn it now.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
So let's bring
Yeah.
on a positive note. Wonder Woman, which of course was a huge,
It was
huge,
the best movie of the
huge.
summer, most successful, top grossing of
It
the summer.
was a huge. It was definitely one of the anticipated movies of the summer. I would
Yeah.
say. But yeah. So Wonder Woman, as of course, stars the amazing and wonderful Gal Gadot. I found out. I'm mumbling again. There we go. I was gonna say, I thought it was. Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool how, when I first heard her speak, I was like, "Where's that from?" And I looked up. She's from Israel. I was like, "That's pretty
Yeah.
cool." I don't think I've ever
She served in the Israel military.
the real Wonder Woman. The real Wonder Woman. But,
She was also Miss Israel.
yeah. There you go. So a lot of.
She lost because she wanted to lose. She wanted to lose
But anywho,
because she didn't want that to be the peak of her career.
right. But Wonder Woman, of course, is the they haven't made too many movies about Wonder Woman that until it was like the
No,
Linda
the
Carter.
first Wonder Woman movie was Batman vs Superman.
yeah.
That was the first time she'd ever appeared in a movie.
Well, I'm saying the Wonder Woman like the it was like in the 70s too. That was just a TV show or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
it was
That's
a
right.
TV show. It was a TV show
Wow.
with Linda Carter.
Wow, that's crazy. The first movie, Batman vs Superman.
Hey, remember we supposed to get a Wonder Woman with Megan Fox in it, in 2007?
Oh, don't remind me.
Remember
of
that's supposed
that.
to be a thing.
Don't
It never
remind
came to
me
be.
of that.
But
I
Don't-
never heard about that.
I heard
Really?
that. Yeah.
I never did. Wonder Woman with Megan Fox. is
She was
Wonder
I
Woman.
can't see it. I like Gal Gadot too much. I think she's better. But of course, Wonder Woman tells a story about how this Amazon goes from her world to the Earth world
In World War One.
in World War One.
There's a lot of
And-
worlds involved.
Basically, it's just telling a story of how she came to be Wonder Woman in our eyes, and how she got to the future and where she is now part of the Justice League. So, but yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool story. I guess I want to say concept because it's a war movie. It's in a way a war movie, but it's not a war movie. It's more like superhero / war kind of thing. And I thought for this one the storytelling was also really good. It wasn't fantastic, but it was really good. The way they had, from where she started out, we see her as a child, and then she grows up, and then becomes Wonder Woman. But I thought, I'm just gonna start with the acting in this movie. I thought Gal Gadot did an amazing job. She was superior as Wonder Woman. I thought, when I looked, I'm like, yeah, that's Wonder Woman. That's the girl. That's the one I want.
Everyone said that she wasn't gonna do good.
You could say she was wonderful.
Wow.
The first
I
pun of
First
the
pun.
first pun of the
And
year.
it wasn't even from me.
Look at
First
Time
of
to
the
change
year, look at
people.
that.
But no, her acting was amazing, and I mean, all her, even her like her stunts and all like
She's a good Wonder Woman.
she's
She is.
excellent.
She
Yeah,
was pregnant filming this movie.
yeah, she was like what, like a month or.
She was a couple months pregnant
Yeah,
because they had to put a green screen thing over her baby bump.
But hey, she did great. She was pregnant, but also Chris Pine was in this movie as well. He did a pretty good
I
supporting
really
role.
liked Chris Pine's character.
His comedy,
He was comedic, but he wasn't too comedic.
right. He was.
I really liked it.
It was like if Guardians of the Galaxy had his comedic effect in Guardians of the Galaxy, it would have been great, but they didn't. They had way too much exposure to comedic effect. Whereas Mitsui was like, oh, like haha, that was funny, but it's like back to the story again,
Yeah.
which I loved a lot.
Most of the comedy actually came from Gal Gadot as well.
Yeah,
Whenever she was exploring Man's World, she's
She
Why-
doesn't know what any of this
like, "Why
is.
can't I
Yeah.
carry a sword out in the middle of the
Yeah.
street?" And it's like, because this is America.
It was like typical, like new to this world. We don't know anything. We do things
But
different.
it felt
from our world.
fresh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It felt fresh.
I for a fact, and
It was certified fresh.
I was gonna
Like
say,
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
aside from the acting too, this is another example of a movie that cinematography looked amazing as well. I really appreciated the darker tones of the movie, especially like it was
It
dark
was-
when it needed to be dark.
But it was also so colorful.
Yeah, like her like,
Everything
uniform.
was dark except for her.
Right,
It seemed
yeah.
like, and that was so cool because she was like, she was the embodiment of like hope,
Yeah,
and it was just.
it kind of reminded me. The cinematography for Wonder Woman kind of reminded me of the cinematography for Man of Steel, kind of, because as you see, forgot his name already. The actor who plays Superman in Man of Steel.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. I don't know what I almost said, but the way they portrayed him in that movie, like the way the light shines on Superman, especially when he puts on the suit for the first time, you just see that constant like glimpse of him being brighter than everything else on screen. And this movie, it's no different, especially in the scene where we first see her like battle on the battlefield. That scene,
No
I'm
Man's
just like,
Land.
yeah, No Man's Land. That scene was perfect. It went exactly the way I wanted it to go. But yeah. So what are other things you guys enjoyed about Wonder Woman that worked really well?
Okay, I gotta start.
All right. Yeah.
Haven't thought yet. Go ahead.
Because this movie was my favorite movie of the summer. Granted, I didn't see a lot of movies this summer, but this was
You saw a fair amount.
this was my favorite movie of the summer.
Have the tables turned?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Have
you
I
saw
seen-
more
have
movies
I
than
seen
Women
movies
did
recently?
this summer.
Have I seen
I don't
most
see a
movies
lot of
this summer?
movies during the summer.
I
I only pick what I want to see.
What
really
strange times we're coming to. No, but I agree with you. This is my favorite
This
movie
was
as well.
my
This was
favorite
perfect.
movie of the music, the cinematography, the coloring. DC hit a home run. with
Yes, they
this
did.
movie,
This
which is something they really needed.
It's like this was their saving grace after the Dark Knight trilogy and maybe Man of Steel. Man of Steel was pretty good. I like Man of Steel.
Because, like I say, I like the DC movies, but I'll admit that they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest, and this movie sort of put DC back on track, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Patty Jenkins, the director, did an amazing job. She signed on to do Wonder Woman 2, which I'm so happy to hear. And she also proved Warner Brothers wrong.
Yes, she did.
Because Warner Brothers likes to cut up their movies. They cut up Suicide Squad. They cut up Batman vs. Superman. And if you watch the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs. Superman, I think it's much better than the original one. It fills a whole lot of the gaps that were left. When they finished this movie, Warner Brothers wanted to cut out the No Man's Land scene from this movie.
Oh my gosh. That's
The
not.
first time that we see Wonder Woman in her armor doing what she does,
They wanted
they wanted to cut it out.
Warner Brothers.
And-
I don't know what you're thinking. Of,
And Patty Jenkins said,
No.
no,
yeah, I
just
mean, no.
keep it in the movie, and you can watch it, and
Where's the sense?
You'll-
Why do you want to?
you'll understand why it needs to be in there. And everyone says that that is the best scene in the whole
I agree with that.
because it is. It's
Yeah,
the best
It's
scene.
the best
It
scene in the
is.
movie. It's the best. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that with Justice League, all of that, Warner Brothers takes a step back and goes, okay, do we really need to cut all this stuff? No, we do not.
I thought, is it because of Wonder Woman that they did reshoots and rewrites and why they brought Josh Whedon on? So I know they brought him on for reshoots because Zack Snyder's daughter and
Yeah.
whatnot, but also because like he's a co-writer now, he's being credited with it. But they wanted to do reshoots because like how good Wonder Woman was, they're desperate to get Justice League right. Because
Maybe, yeah. I haven't heard that story. I haven't heard that story.
That's just what I read. Like
But
they,
it sounds-
they
it
really
sounds
want to
right.
they want to get it right after how successful Wonder Woman was. They don't want to like
It sounds
yeah.
Wonder Woman had the perfect tone because everyone complains that DC's movies are too dark. This movie was not dark. It had its moments, but overall, it felt like the old Marvel movies, like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first Iron, it really felt like the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
And it felt like First Avenger, but better. Because I'm not a big fan of First Avenger. Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
I loved this whole movie. I will say, it does suffer from what DC suffered with in the past with the whole CGI last act. But I don't think it was as bad as Doomsday. It felt more like Zod to me because I actually like the fight with Zod in
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It felt more like Zod than it
Right.
did Doomsday because they didn't show it as much, and it had a really good plot twist.
Wait.
Wonder Woman had a really good plot twist.
It did at the end. I love
It
that
sucked.
plot.
It sucks though, because
What's up, Steven?
it sucked though. Like the plot twist was good, but it wasn't good because I figured it out like halfway into the movie.
Really, I didn't figure.
I didn't figure it out at all
Because
until the end.
as soon as the guy we all thought was like in the beginning was the villain was like, no, and I'm like it had to be him. It had to be who the villain was because he's way too close.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other character, the
Yeah.
other female we meet in the movie. I thought it was her until at the end I was like, oh my god, it wasn't her. Like it was
Yeah.
someone else. But yeah, great plot twist. And also, I want to credit. I mean, Patty Jenkins again. I just really enjoyed the fact that. So one thing that I noticed a lot, especially when I was younger and even today while I'm studying film here, is that there are not a lot of female directors in Hollywood's industry, like in the movie industry. There just aren't. There's, it's very rare to kind of see that. But when I found out that it was a female directing this movie, and the female was the main role, and like the entire like cast of Amazons that back at her home were all female, I was like, this is like what I want to see more of. I love seeing more of like female directors and like all woman cast like breakthrough because you don't see that at all. Like you really don't. And so to kind of see that, I'm just like, that's awesome. That means it's truly making a change for the future. And you don't know where this movie has inspired. After this movie came out, Gal Gadot has been, for tons of young girls out there, she's been a spokesperson for them.
She's just a great.
Yeah.
She's so great.
Women and girls now look up to her and Patty Jenkins because they're like, hey, you made the movie, now I have to show my daughter that, hey, there is a place, in this world for women to do their thing. And I think that's awesome. That's a great message that you think it's an awesome movie, but the message that it gives afterwards is even better. And that's what I strive to make movies like that, where the movie is good, but also the message it provides afterwards is powerful enough to really inspire people to do, to make them happy and all that, which is really awesome in my opinion. But,
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
have to say about? You haven't said anything yet.
I thought Wonder Woman was good. I liked it. It was a very good DC movie. Very good center blockbuster. I agree with everything you guys have said. Like, No Man's Land is the best part. Like, the movie itself is it is a good movie. It's good. It's entertaining, and it's more than entertaining. It's good. It really is.
it deserves all the credit it gets for, like, if it's like, oh, this is a great movie, like, it deserves, words cannot describe how great this movie was. It was,
It was a really good, like, fresh take.
yes.
Yeah.
The best movie of the summer, I totally agree.
Steven.
I'm not gonna lie, I was so ready to give this movie crap when I first was getting ready to go see it. Cause I thought it was gonna fall into the trap of how like all the other DC movies so far have been, just not being good. And like the trailer gave me some hope, but I'm just like, so did Suicide Squad's trailer, so did Batman vs Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Both of those trailers looked good, but the movies were not great.
Yeah.
But I saw one of them, I'm like, okay. When I first left the theater, I'm like, it could have been better, but then I sat on it and I'm like,
Actually,
I'm giving it crap because it's DC. Let me stop giving let me take out the bias that I have for DC.
Yeah.
And I gave it a much higher rating. I'm like, it's a fantastic movie. It, aside from the Marquee of the Night, it's probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen this year.
Yeah.
This year so far.
And another thing, right before we get into our ratings,
Mm.
you don't have to watch all the other DC movies.
It's its own. It's
to
like its
watch
own
this
thing.
movie.
Exactly, yeah, it's his own thing.
Like it very, very briefly ties
In the
into
beginning
other
of the
ones
movie.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
But even then, you would just think it was like an Easter egg.
Exactly. And there was one thing that threw me out the movie entirely, and that was near the end. Not with the CGI, but the green screen.
Yeah.
Because I literally,
that was
it was right before she had defeated the villain, and it's just the two of them talking in the little forest place.
Yeah.
And as soon as it popped up, I'm like, oh my god, I can see the green screen. It looks terrible. It threw me out it suddenly threw me off guard so much. I'm like, oh my god, it's bad.
That's something else I guess I forgot. I like the movie overall. It's just minor things that bother me.
The CGI could have been a little bit.
Yeah, the minor things that bothered me was just the CGI in the movie and Chris Pine's acting. That was really just the minor
Really?
things.
You didn't like Chris Pine's acting?
He reminded me of Jimmy Fallon when he does his monologues. It takes forever for him to say what he wants to say, and he's just bumbling and whatnot. The first couple times I saw him in the movie, it was just he was lost almost, in his mind. He was
He was lost.
I know he was lost, yeah. But no, when he landed there, when he landed with Wonder Woman involved in, he seemed himself. It was when he went to go take a bath and whatnot, it seemed like he was lost in his mind or whatnot. It was I was fine on the beach a couple minutes ago, but now I'm bathing in this mystical water or whatever, and I'm losing my mind. It's
Wouldn't you?
It was he was babbling and trying to be, but it was just the minor things. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just it was little, not that big of a deal.
I mean, I thought it was
just
cute.
his acting.
It was cute
Chris
for what it
Pine's
was.
acting.
The way I would describe him is that he's kind of more of a mellower Captain Kirk in this movie. Where he thinks he has authority, but in this case he doesn't because Wonder Woman's there. But he's just okay, yeah, I'll be the smart kind of suave guy, but I'll still be
But it was just that. This is CGI and his acting. It was just minor. It wasn't really bad acting. No. It was just
I know what you're saying.
But all right, so Wonder Woman. Let's get into the ratings. Let's jump right in.
It feels so good to finally review this movie.
We've been waiting a long time, people. So
Wonder Woman was my favorite movie of the summer, and rightfully so. I give this movie an 8.5.
I give Wonder Woman a 7.6.
I give Wonder Woman an 8.5.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.
Oh.
Actually, no, scratch that.
Don't
No,
do
you're
it.
gonna do it.
Go higher.
Don't do
Go
it.
higher?
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't
Should we go higher?
No,
I want to
don't
go
do
higher
it.
though.
You're high enough. Don't do it.
Give it whatever you want.
Don't give it the solid 10 just yet. We got a whole year.
Yeah, you
I'll stick with 9. I don't want to leave it into. I don't want to give it a heart attack in the first episode already, so I'm just gonna leave it at 9. It is a really good movie though, so
I'm
we
probably
highly.
gonna scare Levi tonight anyway.
Oh, I'm probably gonna scare him too.
You both gonna scare me with the scary movie? Is that
Yeah.
what this is?
But overall, before we go on to the next one, just Wonder Woman is a great movie. Go out and see it. Go out, rent it, watch it. I mean, just go take a look at it. It's a great movie. You're gonna enjoy it as much as we did. So, all right. So next movie, the last movie we have before we take our break, we have War for the Planet of the Apes. So let's get right into it. The new rebooted Planet of the Apes films are I think much better than the ones in 2000s and that kind of thing. Or I guess the one in 2000.
The one in 2000.
I thought there were multiple for some odd reason, but the one in 2000 with Mark Wahlberg. But yeah, so tell me what you guys kind of plot a little bit, and then what you guys.
I think
thought.
Levi's the one.
Yeah, Levi's gonna
All right, that's right. You were the. Take it away.
This
So
is gonna be a short.
War for the Planet of the Apes. It's the last one in the new Apes trilogy of Rise, Dawn, and now War. And the first two are they're stellar. They're fantastic, absolutely incredible. Especially Dawn. Dawn is so
Such a good movie.
This movie, it was outstanding. It really was.
Ooh.
It was one of the better it was one of the better trilogies that had a really good conclusion to it and deserved it. Of like movie franchises that like don't have that great, or like the third one's the weakest one or whatever. This one, like, it ended really, really good. It ended perfectly. This movie was just overall outstanding. Because what it is they're at war now. Because at the end of Dawn, what's the ape's name?
Caesar?
Koba.
Oh,
Koba.
Koba.
He turns it around to make it look like the humans harmed an ape. They killed Caesar. They shot Caesar like they did at Dawn, and so that's why they go to war. It's because of Koba, and Caesar has to face it. Like he has to put up with it. There's no undoing it. 'Cause they're too much into it. There's no going back. And so after he kills Koba and whatnot at the end of Dawn, then he has to. It leaves off with that. We're at war, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it picks up there. Like it's like a year or two, I'd say, after that, because he's got a new kid and whatnot. Because the first one we saw like his little boy or little girl, and then he had an older son. They're more grown up now.
Okay.
But Woody Harrelson's the bad guy. He plays his name is the Colonel. Like there is no other name. His name literally is credited as the Colonel, and he's seeking Caesar. He wants Caesar dead. Like he won't stop until he's dead. And there's something he does at towards the beginning of the movie. I can't say without being a spoiler, and it unwinds Caesar. He literally goes ape for over. Yeah. It's past 10 o'clock. He literally goes ape shit.
First customer of the night.
Like
of the year.
He goes insane with what Woody Harrelson does, and Woody Harrelson, of course, he gets away because he's a villain. We gotta go through the whole movie, and so they're moving their whole herd of apes farther north, away from the humans and whatnot, and it's just Caesar, the gorilla, Luca, the orangutan Maurice, and his buddy Rocket, like his sidekick Rocket. Just the four of them go out seeking and it follows them throughout the entire movie. Well, not the entire, but like the first hour 15 minutes of the movie, we're following them, trying to catch up with Woody Harrelson and his gang. But it was just, and then they meet the little girl Nova. Her name's Nova, and they meet Bad Ape, who's played by Steve Zahn. Yeah, and it's just the movie though is just.
I was gonna say, aside from like the actual story, the storyline of all three of the films, the way these films look, like cinematography wise, they have like a really, like I said, it's like a darker, it looks kind of like a grayish tone, kind of.
Well, the first one's not.
The tones of the movies, they get darker and darker as we go on. Like Dawn was a little bit darker than Rise was, and War was darker than what Dawn was. As it goes on.
Well, we're talking cinematography wise, of course, not actual like tone wise.
Yeah.
Cinematography wise.
But the tones of like the cinematography. Yeah.
I was gonna.
But the one thing too, like Matt Reeves, he didn't direct Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He did Dawn and War. But what he does really good, what he did was like showing us how these apes have evolved, and as we continue to watch these apes, how much they've grown in the world, our world now, taking over, and how humans aren't as powerful. Yeah, they're not the ones in control. And so he does a really good job with that, and that's why I'm looking forward to him directing the Batman movie with Ben
I was
Affleck.
going to bring that up.
Yeah. So I'm happy to know that he's directing it. But what he does with the Apes movies, really doing a good job of watching them evolve and how they've grown, like their character development, how much it is. And that's what I liked about, like, it was both plot and character development. The way he was able to mix it, it was just, like, they develop as the plot goes on. It's just, well, I mean, like, you're supposed to do that, but still, the way with the apes, because they're apes, like, you don't expect them. Yeah. So it was just...
I was going to say, it sounds like for both Wonder Woman and War for the Planet of the Apes, like for Wonder Woman, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I said, okay, it might be a good film, but I came out going like, oh my god, that was like the best film ever. This film, I think it was same for you, right? You were like saying, okay, let's see what it does, and then you were like, oh my god, it's
I knew it was going to be good. I just didn't expect it to be as good as what it was.
I love it when films, especially when films that like you don't know about, you're just like, oh, it might be okay, but then it flips your reaction like entirely.
Yeah, it was a little better than what I thought it was going to be. Like I knew it was going to be good, but it was a little bit better than what I thought. It's so good.
But Levi, your review, and now what is your rating for War for the Planet of the Apes?
I give War for the Planet of the Apes a solid 8.0.
Ooh,
solid
he's moving up
eight.
tonight,
It's-
folks.
It's good.
He's moving up tonight.
It's a good conclusion to the trilogy.
All right. And with that note, we're gonna go ahead and break for the first half of our show. So there you go, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Transformers The Last Night, Wonder Woman, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Well, actually, one new thing we're also doing on the show is that after the show is over, we're gonna post these papers that we're writing on our scripts. We're gonna post them on our Facebook page, and you're gonna see all the little comments that we wrote about them, so you can see which one of us you compare to the most and all that stuff. So really cool about that. We're gonna go ahead and take a small 10-minute break, and the remainder of our show will be back for the marquee of the night, which is It, the remake of I almost said Stephen Hawking. Stephen King's amazing book. So stick around. You're listening to your station, Voice of the Galaxy Radio. I'm also going to try to fix the live stream because I see some issues with that. We are working it out for the first night, but just bear with us now. But listen to CineManiacs. We'll be right back.